this
Today on the
this
show,
episode,
we are going to learn how to greet people in a post-COVID world. And here's a
according to
hint.
their preference.
Yeah, and if you hold up one finger, that means you preferred a bow. Good day, Brent.
Good day to you.
We just had a wonderful chat with our friend Jack Wagner from the Yeah But Still podcast, among other things, director, podcaster,
Idea man.
and we talked about handkerchiefs a lot.
We got really into.
We talked about some idea. We had some movie pitch, movie.
Code.
Well, you'll listen. Just listen to the show. It's a fun show.
We got some great ideas, movie ideas, and also we learn about the origins of a certain kind of community in Northern California, and we also learn about handkerchief codes, which is very interesting.
Interesting stuff. And of course, today's show is brought to you by LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. LouisvilleVeganFoods.com is a place where you can find Louisville vegan jerky, our favorite jerky, and it probably should be your favorite jerky. And it's some jerky that you can get pretty easily if you go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and use the code word Poundcast.
It's actually
That'll get you 20% off.
It's not even pretty easy. It's actually too easy.
It's too easy.
They make it too easy.
Yeah, when you do that, it lets them know, hey, we support the Poundcast and we support great businesses.
Well, it lets them know, hey,
products.
we heard about this on our favorite. We heard about my favorite jerky on my favorite podcast, the Poundcast.
Yeah, that's how you let them know. Just go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and use the code word Poundcast, like I said. Or you can get it at the store. Just find it at the store. Check it out. All I ask is check it out.
You get it,
Brent?
Please check it out, would you, huh?
Check it out. Another way to support us is through Patreon, patreon.com/poundcast. After this episode, we keep talking to Jack and we go to we ask, we get into we talk about Kato Kalin.
We talk about a lot of stuff.
We go for another almost hour in the After Dark. So the After Dark is a bonus episode, or it's an extension of the show. And the only way to listen to that is to support us on patreon.com/poundcast. Sign up there and you can keep listening to us. And you can watch us on YouTube, and you can watch the After Dark on YouTube. But you can watch the main episode on YouTube too.
Which is youtube.com/the Poundcast. And right, the Poundcast is also on Instagram and Twitter as the Poundcast.
Unbelievable stuff.
Unbelievable sites. Hey, can I share a thought that I didn't get to quite finish?
Please do.
This was on the After Dark, so you're gonna have to listen to the After Dark for this to fully make sense. But I was talking about how Ride of the Valkyries, the Richard Wagner piece of music, that the Nazis is co-opted the right word. The Nazis used that piece of music and then
appropriated it.
Some people have an issue with that piece of music because it's associated with the Nazis. Well, I was just going to say that, people that's similar. Something I forgot to say on the episode was that happened with the mustache also, the Hitler mustache, that people don't want to have the Hitler mustache anymore. Well, people think of it as Hitler mustache, even though that mustache existed, but long before Hitler. And obviously Charlie Chaplin had the same mustache. And
it's a great mustache.
And I guess my thought, it's interesting though, but there's probably more of a stigma with the mustache, but these things got co-opted, same thing with the Pepe the Frog too, kind of, anyway.
I think these subjects have been discussed.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess
the mustache thing has been discussed, and I have a mustache. You haven't really complimented me on it, so.
Oh, I think it does look cool and interesting. I think I mentioned it. Oh, maybe I mentioned it privately yesterday, didn't I?
Oh, well, the other day I had a beard. Now I have a mustache.
Oh, I thought you just had a mustache.
I had a full beard last time.
Really?
I'm just rocking the stash.
Yeah, interesting. Cool and interesting.
So that's exciting stuff for me,
But
all right. Well, Brent, let me ask you this: do we have a remix to start the show off today?
You know what? Thank you for asking.
I forgot to remind you ahead of time, which I shouldn't have to, but I guess I.
No, I know. Our
We might
theme
be out.
song.
We might be out of remixes. Are
No,
there
we
more?
have one more. Our theme song is brought to us by Richard Wagner. It is "Ride of the Valkyries," known for its association with the Nazis, the Nazi Party in the 1930s. No, okay, actually, uh, my thought on that though is
When was that written? That's some 1800s
it's
kind of
it's
thing,
from the
right?
1800s. It's from 1870-ish.
Okay, well,
But
he, he was long gone by the time. Well, I don't know. I guess he could have been alive, but
well,
chances
anyway,
are they just took his song, kind of like how the MAGA people do "Young Man." They do YMCA.
they took YMCA.
Every time I would see one of those Trump rallies, it would be YMCA blasting for some
That's
reason.
so interesting. What a
Of all
weird
the
thing to pick.
songs, yeah.
Well, look, I think as long as it doesn't have that association for you, hey, do whatever you want. Ride of the Valkyries, it's a classic.
So if I bump "Ride of the Valkyries" out of my 1988 Honda Escort with my subwoofer in the trunk rattling the license plate, people aren't going to lynch me or hunt me down and call me a Nazi and kind of mob
Well, I think
my
if you
car.
change your mustache to, a different
Right,
style,
okay, if I did the
and
stash and the Valkyries,
yeah,
that's a
I think
problem.
you could
Okay.
I think you can get it going. Plus, you're blonde. You kind of got that Aryan kind of look that I like so much. And I'm just
Well, if
kidding.
I like trim the sides really tight,
Yeah. Plaster your hair down a bit.
I do kind of like this and then get this going,
Get the mustache. Get Ride of the Valkyries going.
get this going.
Yeah,
I don't want to start off the show with that stuff.
it's quite humorous though.
All right, do you have a you got the
Yeah,
remix or what?
our remix
So
this week.
look, here's how the remixes work. If you sign up for Patreon, you can remix the theme song, and every week, pretty much, we haven't run out yet. Tons of remixes have been coming in.
Oh, and they're all great.
They're all great.
Amazing.
They're better than my
artists.
original.
Amazing artists here. So this one is from. This is actually the last one we have so far. This is from Cody Neff. And by the way, we just play these in order as they come in, but this is by Cody Neff, and it's by Cody Neff. Yeah.
All right, let's roll the clip, and then we'll get on with Jack Wagner. Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
And big thank you to Chloe Bonilla, Jack Birch, and Jackie Montana for
That's
their
the
help.
Poundcast squad. Yeah, that's our crew putting the show together, helping us out. So thank you so much.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about too? Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about too? Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about too? Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent.
And welcome to the Poundcast, Jack Wagner
What's up? How's it going, boys?
from the Yeah But Still podcast.
That's true.
As we all know and love. And Brent and I were both on there before, right?
You guys were both on there separately.
Together.
Were you on? Well, Doug, you've been on twice, I thought, right? Or were you just on that one time?
Brent, did I come on with you once?
You definitely. The only time I did it was with Doug.
I knew you did it. I feel like Doug, we might have had you twice.
I feel like I went on solo once.
We might have done a solo Doug one time.
Yeah.
must have been
Oh,
the case.
when I came on,
You came on again. You came on for really early, I think the first time, and you were doing sound drops.
yeah, but then the second time I came on, I was with Connor O'Malley.
Oh, wow. See,
Remember
dude,
He was doing a character. He was doing like,
it was you and Connor?
well, he kind of just had this one bit. It was mostly me, but then he was like a slot where he came in and just did this one bit about, he was like an improv coach, and
He was like living in Bally Total Fitness or something, right?
he was like problematic somehow. It was pretty good.
Yeah, he was trying to get shows going at a gym.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, I've been doing this. We started that but still as a side project. And the next thing you know, it's like years later. Like
It's
you
the main
can't, once you
now-
start, you can't stop.
Is that your main project now?
In COVID, it is like, everything stopped for me during COVID. So it like became both of our main thing, you know?
Well, yeah, Poundcast and the other podcast I do, Office Hours, is my main things for sure. That's like my only income, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, during COVID, same. Now I'm gonna try to go back to work. I mean,
What did you do?
I was a director. I was
Besides-
no, I'm a
besides-
director. I mean, I had a show.
Oh, that's
Like,
right.
and
Yeah, of course.
subscribe. I've done a
Of
bunch of
course.
music videos, but I also just like, I mean, I do a bunch of like boring work too. Like, I mean, I have a freaking job.
I want to know what the boring stuff is.
Yeah, what's your boring thing?
Get into that.
Just like I like do like boring like creative stuff for like companies and like I don't know.
What does that mean?
Like
Like, give us
strategy
one-
and like
give us one example. You can even be vague. You don't have to say the company.
like I don't know. People pay me to come up with ideas and like or like
shit. We should be paid for that. Me and Brent, that's all we do on this podcast is come up with ideas.
it's
Right.
not that different from like writing or something. Like a movie coming out now is like earlier today, working on like this movie that's coming out. And they want like marketing like things that they could do.
So advertising. You work in advertising.
Kind of. I mean, I don't work for like an ad agency. It's just like one of the big, you know, distribution companies, like whatever you call them, studios. They just like wanted a bunch of ideas for like creative, I don't know, like stunts and like weird like marketing gimmicks.
Let's come up with some gimmicks right now.
I know, right?
Say,
how-
Let's
okay,
go, and
there's,
then I'll
there's
and
a
then
new,
I'll sell them.
yeah, you
What
can
are
have
some
these.
ways-
You can have these for free. Say there's a new Spider-Man movie, right?
Well,
Yep.
I was gonna. Yeah,
We
I was gonna
throw-
suggest.
We fucking put a big web up, and we web
Mhm.
across Hollywood Boulevard, and all the cars just get stuck in this web, and then
That's a
they're
great idea.
they're pissed off, but then they're like, "Oh, Spider-Man, though," you know?
Exactly.
You know what I
See?
mean? Or you cover random cars with like a spider web, right? And then people come to the car, they're like, "What the hell is this?" And then Spider-Man comes down upside down, and he's like, "My new movie's coming out."
And then he kisses them.
He kisses
Yeah,
them,
then they do the
Upside
upside down
down.
kiss, and then they're like,
and he's like,
and
"This
it's
is
all
not
being-
sexual harassment in any
"Yeah,
way. You're not allowed to
it's
sue
all
me."
being filmed."
Come watch me in my new movie. Leaves.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
that's what
name-
they
name-
edit that out of the movie. Spider-Man does that a lot when the cameras aren't rolling.
Yeah, like name any movie from the past, and we'll.
Well,
Well, I
that's
was
why
gonna-
that's why they keep getting new people to play Spider-Man. You know how they always it was like Andrew Garfield or something. It was Tobey Maguire. They've had so many. It's because Spider-Man.
It was
you know,
Peter Parker.
Yeah, true.
Peter Parker played Spider-Man also.
Because Spider-Man's always kissing people without permission. He does that kiss.
Uh-huh.
They have to replace him eventually because he does it too much. And they're like, Spider-Man, you gotta stop kissing people.
And that's not in the script either.
It's not in the script at all.
I got a great idea. Boy, I got a great idea to fix that. Write a new story for Spider-Man called "Kiss of the Spider-Man,"
Okay.
and then he could kiss all the people he wants because it's in the title. There was fair warning. You
He's
know?
going around. He's telling people they'll get his spider powers if he gives them a kiss.
or they'll get poisoned by him or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
it's a
oh,
negative.
you're
it's a
around.
negative
Oh
effect.
no, you got the Spider-Man poison. I have the antidote. You have to give me a kiss. That's the only antidote.
I
That's what
have a superhero movie idea. It just
Okay.
just came to mind. It's called Man. Okay. And everyone else is Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, whatever man, you know. But then there's this one guy who's not a super. There's
It's just a
not
guy.
one regular guy amongst a superhero planet, and he needs to like save that superhero planet with just like regular guy stuff.
Well, dude, that's like in Marvel. That's like Black Widow or something. Sorry, I keep pulling my cable out.
Did they make this already? I'm too late.
No. I just think it's funny, like in the Marvel movies, because I'm not like a Marvel nerd. Like Scarlett Johansson, I think she plays Black Widow. Like, there's like Thor. He's a god. He's like a literal god. You know, there's Superman, the Hulk, and then Black Widow. She just has Glocks. She just has dualies, like 2 guns, and she's good at shooting them. It's not like that
Well,
doesn't
same thing
seem
with
very
Batman.
balanced.
Not a power.
Well, same thing
Yeah.
with Batman. Batman is, he's not superhuman.
No, not at all. I mean, he has a bunch of gear. He has more than guns.
He does have a lot of gear, but that's why I think some people like Batman a lot is because he's not superhuman and he's a real man, and
Well,
what
you
he does
well,
is conceivably.
you guys are you're ruining my premise, because my premise is, of course, Batman is not a superhero. He wasn't, hit with a nuclear reactor, but he's got his gadgets. I'm just talking about there's a guy. He's just called
Well-
Man.
Well, how about this, Doug?
You know,
Man. Because there's Spider-Man, Batman, whatever, these different kinds of mans. What about a man whose power is being a man? And I know there's a band called Man, but
and there's also
Oh yeah.
Louisville vegan jerky flavor called Man, but that's
that's right.
besides the point.
right. So I think that's named after the band. But so Man, that's who you're talking about, is Man.
He's a pickup artist.
Or yeah, or actually think about some other possibilities besides Man. There could be Boy Man and Girl Man and Woman Man and all kinds of different iterations.
That's true.
There also could be Man. So, you know what I mean? He's a man, you know? You know? It's like different, it can keep going too. There could be so many different combinations, you know?
I like where you're headed about this.
Or how about Man Boy Man?
Man boy.
Man Boy Man is what I'm saying.
Man child.
Boy man. It would
What if there's a man child superhero?
Man Child Man.
or child man would be like Tom Hanks in Big, I guess. It's like a full grown adult that's like, I just want to play with toys.
Wait, what if there's a child man where he's a full grown adult, right? But then he can shrink into a child to like infiltrate certain situations and, crawl into smaller sewer holes and stuff.
I like that.
Child man.
Does he
I
still
like
have the
that.
brain of an adult man? Have
Maybe
they-
not.
It's Freaky Friday's done that, I guess. Is that the only instance where an adult has become a child?
Well, I
movie?
mean, there's the other movies, the body switch movies, like vice versa, and
Okay.
like father like son or whatever.
Oh, okay,
father,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Father like son or whatever that movie is.
What would you guys do if you got turned into a child?
I'd probably do the same exact things I do as a man.
Yeah.
Probably go to the bathroom and go poo or whatever. And
I mean, and would I be still living in my house in this as my
Yes, I think so.
I mean, I couldn't go because it'd be cool to go back to school and just like go back to school and be like,
well,
I'm gonna like see what's up in
I'm gonna be the
modern
biggest pimp
school
now.
I mean, if I could go
and
back
just
to school,
maybe
with-
like run that shit. You know what I mean?
if
Yeah.
I could go back to school with this brain or this experience in my head, then I would rule the school. I
Absolutely.
would dominate the teachers.
It would be funny if it'd be funny if you had that fantasy scenario though, then you go back and you just like have to be a loser again and just get bullied by other kids.
Well, I wrote a whole screenplay about that kind of with a couple friends, and it's about a guy. It's about a cop who goes undercover as a sixth grader, but he thinks he's going to be cool this time when he goes back, and he's an adult man.
Oh,
but
I'm
he ends
into
up-
it now.
He ends up getting bullied and stuff. Same thing happens.
Undercover as a sixth grader.
Yeah, and he's a grown man. It's called Sixth Grade Cop. It's like Kindergarten Cop, but he goes in as a sixth grader.
Oh.
Who are we
See,
kidding? We'd all get our asses kicked. We'd probably be so cocky and we wouldn't understand the humor. And
No, we'd be called sus.
Yeah,
all
we
sorts of
wouldn't
things.
understand the memes or anything. We'd be like these weirdos.
Well, it's funny. I was like that in high school. People sometimes thought I was a narc because I seemed too adult to be in school as a high schooler. They thought I was a narc.
I thought you were a cop.
I mean, a couple people thought that,
Yeah, that would be I mean, middle school I realized that like it mostly came down to like if your parents bought you cool clothes. I think that's it. Like in elementary school, like I couldn't think of like if you were decked out head to toe in whatever was cool at the time, like you could be as weird as you wanted to be. I think people still thought you were cool.
Yeah,
I really think so much came down to that.
Maybe so,
such a
I don't
cheat
know.
code.
I'm not so sure though. I mean,
If you were
It's-
dripped down in Abercrombie and Fitch.
I'd like to see that experience because it seems like the popular kids dressed with the latest fashions, but I didn't see anybody that was weird dressing in the latest fashions or vice versa. I didn't see a really popular kid wearing not popular clothing,
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that happen. I
We'll
wanna
do a
see it
study.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get some kids. Where can we find some kids to do this experiment?
Well, this would be like the movie premise, another movie premise. You go back, you get the chance to go back to school to redo it, or like you'll get $10 million if they shrink you into a child, and you could I don't know, finish some kind of project. So maybe like if you can make a new fashion craze happen from starting from scratch with your adult brain or whatever. If you can go into a school and get all the kids to go along with some kind of new trend or something, wouldn't that be a cool movie?
There it is. It's like a marketing executive. We're looping.
Oh, I
back.
love that.
Yes,
That's a great idea. A marketing executive. That's great.
Yeah, they like messed up. They got like some kind of like, they made millions of sweatshirts that are kind of messed up that have like a pocket like across the chest area instead, maybe. And it's like, we need to make these in style. Let's revolutionize science and medicine by turning this marketing executive into a child to go into school.
Yeah, the executive himself must go back. There's no prize. It's like his whole livelihood's at stake. He's got to go back as a child, make these things cool.
He's just really cheap. He doesn't want to like reorder this batch of hoodies.
He's really cheap, and yet they spend
a batch of hoodies.
They spend billions of dollars on this device to make him a kid, though.
Yeah, but out of principle, he's like, I will sell these hoodies.
He's like, I'm not going to waste these shirts or whatever.
Yeah, he just can't waste them. Yeah.
Do you know that this is an actual true story? That there was a 30-year-old man who posed as a 13-year-old in a junior high.
Yes.
Or middle school.
Is that the guy who
he got away with it for 3 months until somebody finally noticed. But he was in the school for 3 months, and I guess he kind of kept his head down a lot or whatever, but he was also a sort of there's more to it than that. He was an ex-convict. He was an ex-convict as well.
Do you have do you have a name? I want to look this up.
I forgot. There's a story. I mean, the story is probably from the 2000s.
Brent, is this the guy that some kid went missing, and then there was this guy? Here's another story. There was a guy in like Europe, and he was sort of like a drifter, kind of delinquent kind of kid, but he was older. He was like in his 20s, and this family was like looking for their missing son, and he wrote to them. He's like, "Hey, I'm your son. I'm in Romania or something," and they flew out to get him, and he doesn't look anything like him. They just thought, he grew up, and like his hair was dyed, and his eyes were a different color, but he like dyed his hair blonde to like look. And the family they just went with it. They're like, yeah, he's back. And then like he had an accent and everything, and they're like, yeah, he just like he got kidnapped and went to Europe, and now he just has an accent and his hair is different.
That is crazy. So it wasn't the guy, obviously.
Is that The Imposter, that documentary?
I think there's a documentary about it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So Brent, is this it? A 21-year-old Florida man has been charged with trespassing after posing as a middle school student in order to play youth football.
No, it was an older guy. He was 30 years old, or 29. He was 29 or 30, and he didn't, nothing bad happened with the kid, any of the kids in the school, but he posed as a
29-year-old pedophile.
Yeah.
Turned
pedophile?
himself into a 12-year-old schoolboy.
Oh, is that what it is?
He wore a baseball cap, said he liked to skateboard, and seemed like an ordinary spotted-faced 12-year-old when he turned up for his first day of school in a small Arizona ranching town. But the child claiming to be Casey Price was 29 and convicted sex offender who took advantage of his slight frame to try to gain access to children in at least 4 schools in the state for himself and 3 accomplices. Oh, for 3 accomplices too.
Well, I wonder if
these are advanced pedophiles.
I wonder if that's yet a different story, because the one I was thinking of is the guy. I don't know, but I don't think that he had a history of pedophilia or anything like that. He just went into the junior high and he was an adult, and people, and he had a small frame and stuff, so people bought it, but
this is why, look, I don't support pedophilia in any way, but I do respect their hustle. This took a lot of work, it seemed. I'm just kind of reading this, like the fact that there was a team planning this.
Did you hear about
great lengths?
Did you hear about the 30-year-old that went into the old folks home and he dressed like an old person because he was attracted to older women, and he was getting laid like crazy in there.
Are you making this up or is that real?
I'm making it up, but why not?
Oh
Maybe
man,
somebody did
See,
it.
that's plausible.
What if?
That could be a
I'm
movie
saying, what if
too.
somebody went the other way? You know?
We're coming up with movies left and right. All of these are good ideas.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of what this show is turned into lately. It's
What
just
about? It's an idea factory,
It's an idea factory. Our
And a
show should
movie
be
fa-
called Idea Factory.
movie factory too.
You should just like hire writers to like write these things out, make pitch decks, and then just ship them off. See what sells.
Hey, if there's any listeners that want to like write up these ideas into a deck, we'll split it with you.
Well,
Yeah.
just
our
gotta
stuff
do-
already does get written up, on Saturday Night Live anyway. So it's we're kind of doing, it's kind of happening. No, I'm kind of mostly kidding, but people are making pitch decks out of our stuff.
Is there some beef that I don't know
Well,
about?
we've discussed it before, but like certain of
it's-
our things have been very similar gags on SNL.
mean,
This
in
happened
some
to Brent
cases-
and I think,
Yeah.
and there's been tweets and YouTube videos breaking these things down where like somebody makes a joke and then SNL has that exact thing, or like Cumtown does a bit and then SNL does the same bit, or
They had a couple bits actually come down.
Really? I need to see that.
But I
These
mean, Doug
YouTube
had a
videos.
thing that was so it was so specific, that, and it was on Saturday Night Live, and it would just seem.
Brent, I don't want to go back into the SNL.
Okay.
I'm not getting it back into it. I was just making a joke, and then
I know. Okay, it's a good callback.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I was the one that was asking for more too. Anyway,
Jack, so I saw you at a party, probably the first party I've been to
yeah, we experienced
since
it
the
first
pandemic
time.
started. Yeah, so we both experienced our first party, and I hadn't seen you in forever.
Yeah,
But that's probably why you're here. And I thought, well, I should get Jack. Jack's hilarious. We got to
We
get
had
him on the show.
we had a great time.
Yeah. So
Were you?
let's talk
we
about
gonna
the
talk
party.
about it?
Let's
Yeah.
talk about the party a little bit. Just maybe some of the interactions we had. So okay, let's set the stage a little bit. The party was out in
Joshua
guess-
Tree.
the Joshua Tree area in the desert.
Yeah, we don't want to put people on blast
Right.
necessarily, but
And by the way, I don't want to put anyone on blast. I had a great time and everyone was nice. We just had this just some weird experiences at this party, which was like held at a fancy Airbnb, with
Yeah.
like lots of
like an estate.
an estate, different areas outside. And
It
then
was like, without putting people on blast, I think like a safe way to explain it was like, it was originally pitched as more of like a event, and we were brought in with people who are going to be performing at this event, where it would make sense for us to be there. And then I think over the month, it devolved into like, okay, maybe it's not so much an event as it is I'm having a party with some of my friends, and we are there at some party that was like not for us.
yeah, I didn't know anybody when I got there and I felt really awkward. And I was
It was more than that. Yeah, I didn't know anybody, but it was like, I mean, I was joking that I felt like I died on the way there and like
Right.
didn't realize I turned into a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah, like we didn't even exist.
yeah,
Right.
people like there's probably 50 people there, and it was just a weird vibe that
Talk about the time when you walked in and there was the DJ and
Oh
everyone
my
was
God.
dancing. Describe the dancing and describe what happened to you.
oh, well, yeah. I mean, this was like when we left and came back a couple times. This was like later in the night, and I came back to the party. I think I was the first to get there, and like, I'm trying to think if how to describe it on a podcast because it's like, it'd be better to visually like lay it out.
Well,
but
we're recording this.
person-
This will be on YouTube as well.
oh, okay. Will it?
So-
Yeah.
If you don't,
Okay.
I should have given you a heads up on that. You don't
No,
care?
it's okay.
You
I
care?
I need to change my outfit now. We're gonna have to take this one again. But yeah, it was just like I came in and everybody at the entire party was dancing in a small area, like really close together, like in the hallway almost with like a DJ. And there was like a lot of space on either side, and it was almost like I don't even. Did you experience that? It was so strange at the time, but
I went in there for a second, but it was kind of too loud for me, so I just got out of there pretty quick.
that description. People are probably imagining like a normal like pop-in party, but it was every single person was dancing, and they're all right next to each other, and like with a ton of space on the side, but like right in like a funnel area where I couldn't get through to like where the drinks and food were, and like nobody would move for me, and I like kind of like tried 2 times to penetrate this like dancing area. like I felt like I was in like The Sims or something, because it wasn't like normal like bouncing around like dancing. Everybody was like doing like heavy moves, like, you know, kind of like really popping, and
their
moving
arms
around,
were just like all up,
vibing, like
vibing
really
with
hard.
like they were TikToking.
Yeah, it was I felt very, very strange, and once again, like nobody
And no one looked at
me.
me. No
Nobody
one looked
me.
at you.
And not that's not in like a vain way where I expect like, oh, when I walk in the room, heads are gonna turn. Like I'm talking like I'm bumping into people. They're not even like looking at me or moving or anything. It's like I felt like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense, you know. But at least he had Haley Joel Osment to talk to. But I really like
that. You didn't have
it was
Haley.
hard to pin down at first. I was like, because we were there for a while, I'm like, man, this is just strange. And then, you know, as more of you guys, because we were there first, me and my girlfriend Chelsea, but then later on,
Oh, Chelsea was your Haley.
there we go, exactly. And then I had the rest of you guys, so I knew I wasn't dead. But we ended up having a lot of fun because you guys got there and we just like gathered around a bonfire or a gas fire. And
we had to hack. We hacked that fire.
yeah, we had to hack the fire to turn it on. You guys were like freaking. You guys were in like the boiler room of this Airbnb.
Yeah, we were like, we were desperate to have that fire going, and we like MacGyvered it. We found where the gas lines went, and we found the propane tank, and we like figured out how to like take the top off, and then we were like, we just cranked it on and then lit it. That was a pretty epic moment when we got that fire going. And then when we got the fire going, that's when a lot of more bizarre things started happening, because we were kind of separated outside, you know, I don't know, 50 yards away with our little fire just kind of hanging out. And people would come in as if an assistant director was like, okay, group number 2, go. Like they didn't.
But didn't give them any lines.
They came out in these small groups, and then they would say something weird and then just kind of like leave. Like one guy comes out and he goes, hey, do you guys know Pixel? Wait, did I tell you about this last week, Brent?
Oh,
You're telling me? No, I think you just
I told you privately.
Privately,
This guy just comes out and he's like, nobody knows him. He's just like, you guys know Pixel? And we're like, no.
Is that like a, yeah, we were like, is it a guy?
Like how are we supposed to know? He's like, oh, he's this like this local guy. He does rock hunting or something.
Just like he's like this like hippie, like legendary. He took me rock hunting.
Yeah, he's like,
stuff.
he lives in a boulder, and it's like a glass covered boulder. Do you don't know him? And we're like, no.
Why would we know?
We're from LA. And he's like, oh, so am I. And I'm like,
okay. Like, why do you know
just
Pixel?
Got here. We don't know Pixel. And then he's like,
don't know anybody.
Oh, he works at Garth's
about
boulder factory or whatever. And we're like, who's Garth? He's like, you don't know Garth? He's blind, and he's got like long gray hair, and he has these crystals out on his property. We're like, no. And then he just sort of like left. We're like,
he just dipped. No goodbye.
Then he dipped. And then like the next group would come out, and we were trying to like, it was like Black Mirror. We're like,
dude, it was, yeah.
They said some dumb thing, and then we were like, so who are you? And then they kind of didn't really, they weren't prepared for those questions. They were like, oh, we work in CBD.
Yeah, I was very, like, I felt like we were in a bad simulation, and it was like kind of showing itself. I know that's kind of cliche, but that's what it felt like. And the Pixel thing, I mean, that's not just us laughing like, oh, he said something weird in a conversation. Like, there wasn't like, he's walking, like, we're far out into the wilderness basically with his fire. Like, and people are like walking, you know, it probably takes like a minute or two to walk out there. We see them coming, and then they arrive next to our fire, and no, like, hey, what's up? Howdy. Like, none of that. Just like silence.
Right. Yeah.
And like nodding, and then like, so, you know, Pixel?
Yeah. There was no like, hey, what's up? How do you know this
hey, how's it going?
guest
What's your
or the
names?
party?
Like, yeah.
Like, there was nothing like that. It was just straight in. And then I like when you go, bogey, you're like, here comes another bogey.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you see another silhouette coming, you're like, here, bogey incoming.
They were. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it was just I mean, here's the thing. They probably thought we were 10 times weirder than we thought.
Yeah,
they
we
were.
were the weird ones.
We were the weirdos, but
Brent,
yeah.
you have a question?
Well, the funny thing is I actually know of an artist named Pixel, who is a Japanese video game designer. His name is Daisuke Amaya, but he goes by Pixel.
Oh wow.
So every time you guys are talking about, do you guys know Pixel? I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I've played a couple of his games, and I know who.
The way
and
this
it
guy
sounds
was
like-
described, it's not the same guy.
Oh, I know. No, the way you described it, it doesn't sound like the same guy, but it also, this guy goes by Pixel. So
There's probably a lot of Pixels,
Right.
That's a good name if you're like in
Right.
the digital space.
right, totally. Actually, the guy that your Pixel sounded like he didn't work in the digital space. Though,
It's
right?
like I did want to meet him though.
yeah,
that's
we
the-
kind of
that is the
we
thing.
looked
I
them
liked-
up, and it did exist. Remember, we almost went the next day to check.
Yeah,
it
because
out.
that guy, for as strange as the Pixel conversation was, he was nice, and I was interested in what he had to say because he was talking about there
he
being
was a
like
nice guy. He was a nice
crystals.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like all of them were mean or anything. It was just very strange. And I mean, I think a large amount of our group was sober, completely sober. I wasn't. So, but I mean, I still thought it was strange.
Yeah, they could have all been on drugs or something. But, to be fair, it could have been their all first time at a party in a year. So maybe
That's true too.
maybe everyone was just being awkward.
That is true because when I was there the first time, I felt like it was all my fault, and I was like, man, I don't know how to be at a party anymore. It's been a really long time. Like I'm all messed up. And then as more of you guys started to arrive, you're like, no, it's not your fault. It's just weird. It's not you. But maybe it's a mix.
Speaking of being new to bigger social sort of atmospheres, I had my first of that last night.
I saw that, bro. I saw you in a group photo, and I was like, wow.
Well, yeah, no, that I felt weird about that. But here's what I think people should do that they're not doing totally. I think most people are being very cool about it. If somebody is being kind of distant, and they don't want to shake hands, for example, people should be understanding about that and not, force that or not feel
Coming up all in your space?
or not feel put off by it. They shouldn't feel put off if somebody doesn't want to shake hands with you or something. So, a couple people went to shake hands with me, and I said, "Oh, I'm kind of not quite comfortable shaking hands yet," or something like that. And most people, everyone actually, was very respectful of that and said, "Oh, yeah, totally, I totally understand, whatever." I'm kind of just gradually getting used to, I kind of just want to be a little. I just want to be a little distant to begin with, But there was one guy who, when I was leaving, he tried to shake my hand, and I said, "Oh, I'm not really shaking hands right now," and then he tried to do the elbow thing, and I was like, "Oh, I don't even really want to do that."
You're like, I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, and he kind of seemed like he was offended by that. And Moshe was there, and he said, "Oh, he's like, don't take it personal. He didn't want to touch me. I've known him for 20 years or whatever." But the guy seemed kind of offended. And I'm thinking, I think he's in the wrong for feeling offended at that, because
Yeah, that's on him.
He
needs
should
to
be
relax.
understanding about that. That okay, first of all, I'm already germophobic to begin with, and now because of this, I'm 10 times more germophobic. And so I don't know. People should just be understanding about that. We're coming out of this, and we're gradually reacclimating to these social kind of things. Yes, sir.
And what if this happened? He goes like, comes in for the handshake. You're like, I'm not really doing handshake. And he's like, you're like, I'm not doing elbows. And he's like, you're like, I'm not doing
Penis
dicks.
out.
I'm not doing dicks. I'm not doing dicks. And he's like, he puts his foot out. He takes his shoe off barefoot. He's like, he puts his foot up in the air. He's like, barefoot?
It's barefoot.
What do you think about a barefoot? And he's like, and then you're like, no, I'm not doing bare feet. He puts his shoe on. He's like, shoe? And you're
Or
like,
you
no,
just-
that shoe's been on the ground.
Or you just
and then
go
he
for
pulls
the
out
penis.
what's that?
Or you're down for the penis, like after he get turned down and he finally arrives there, you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Right. He tries
Sure.
everything. And then that's the final. You're like, you know what? I can do that.
Well, it's or maybe I'm the one who suggests that, so he kind of tries everything. He's like, elbow? He's like, no, okay. How about, a shoe, bottom of my shoe? No. He's like, and I say, and he goes, all right, I guess I give up. And then I say, well, there is one thing. And then I unzip, and he
You can
goes,
give me head.
oh, that?
To say goodbye.
And then he says, yeah. And I say, mm-hmm. And he goes, well, gosh, I'm desperate to make some sort of physical connection with you here. So I guess if this is the only option, sure,
Yeah.
I'll do it. All right. And how did you want that? Did you want it penis to penis or mouth, or how did
Like tip to
and I
tip,
s-
please. So you
and
guys
I-
walk together like this. You're like coming in, right? The dicks touch, and then he goes, and then you go, goodbye. Because it's just like you're just saying goodbye,
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah, I just
Like, after all
and-
that,
or no,
it's
and
just-
I just say to them, and we touch it, and I go, nice to meet you, or I say it like this, nice to meet you. I whisper it. So,
we
but
gotta put that in the movie.
why are
Brent.
people what?
We gotta put that in the movie.
Why are people so desperate, it seems, to make a physical connection with somebody? Can't we just bow? Can't we just
I'm into
Give
it.
each-
Like,
Oh,
give each-
we got to
give
bring the
each other a-
bow into the scene. The bow is the best.
what? Can't we just give each other a fist pump or something?
I'm like, I'd rather just be either nothing or complete universal. Like, just everybody agrees on like the one thing that you're gonna do. I kind of like just giving people a nod, be like, all right, see ya.
Yes.
Like,
or a bow even. I would go for the bow.
or else,
I was
I mean,
shaking hands the other day. I was shaking hands. I was like, wow, that's the first hand I've touched.
I ain't even trying to do that.
I
yet.
just need some, like, there needs to be something that's like, okay, this means goodbye and hello, and that's like what I'm gonna do. I'd rather just know what it is. It doesn't really matter what it is, but like, I don't personally need the physical contact. I'm never,
It
I'm
seems like
never.
people need that.
I want to hug this person.
How about
It's-
this? We all wear gloves, but then we have one bare hand if we're a handshaker, two
Well, I mean,
gloves
you-
if we're doing pounds, an elbow patch if we're an elbow guy,
Well,
or just a full body covering if you're a Brent.
but if you don't, but then you have the glove. After you shake the person's hand, well, you have to do all your shakes, and then you can remove the glove because you can't touch anything.
No,
after
the
you
shake is a bare hand.
No. Use the glove for the shake.
No, I'm just saying if you're a shaker, you're not worried about gloves. You know that you're not going to get COVID by shaking a hand, and it's just like it's been for centuries. You can shake someone's hand.
Brent, let me ask you this, and if
You're not a
this
shaker, Brent. So
if this is an annoying topic, stop me. But was COVID must have been bonkers for you if you're a germaphobe?
Well, it wasn't that.
What was the
actually
routine
that
like?
bad because I didn't see anybody. I stayed in. I mean, I didn't see a single person. I stayed
Oh,
in.
okay, so it didn't ramp up. You were just like, oh, this is my time to shine.
Well, I did
like I've been preparing for this for years. I've been training my whole
Yeah.
life for this.
kind
It's
of
game
yeah.
time.
Well, kind of, but although I became extra. It became heightened. My
I figured. Yeah.
germ consciousness, but but the thing is the only things I did out in public was I went to the store late at night when nobody was there, and I did self checkout. I used a cover to even touch the touch screen, but so I wasn't having to really deal with people or anything like that. So,
It is
But I-
funny. Like,
but I was
remember that
perfectly social though. I hung out with people on video all the time and on phone.
Yeah. I remember remember like the first couple months of it, we didn't really know how it spread or anything. Everybody thought it was like a gas in the air. I remember and it was also the time where everybody was bulk buying groceries and everything was off the shelves. I remember
Toilet paper crisis.
yeah, I remember trying to find meat at like a 99 Ranch Asian food market, and I was like practically in like I was wearing like a freaking like a respirator mask that I had for like woodworking, and like
Uh-huh.
I was like I had my headphones on just coincidentally. I was wearing gloves, like completely covered, because that was like just like this weird time where nobody knew how you got it. Everybody thought it was like poison,
Was it?
Well,
an
I mean, I guess it
American-
is.
It was truly an American nightmare.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my shirt.
Yeah. What is that shirt?
American Nightmare is a band, but it's like this is also like You know, it's the Morton Salt girl.
Yeah, well, I just saw another
It's a Jawbreaker shirt.
Jawbreaker. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to say. You know what's crazy? I was listening to a podcast about Jawbreaker just today. It just like popped up on Spotify. And I don't know. Jawbreaker is one of those bands I never listened to.
They're good. I'm not
So
like a
I was
super
like,
fan.
I'm gonna
but
learn. I want to learn about this band that I.
What'd you learn about?
They just kind of went through and played a song, and then they would be like, they were. I don't really remember.
Kind of like
I was
break
just-
down, like analyzing the songs. It wasn't like a biography.
It was kind of a biography. It was like they had a short career. They toured with Nirvana. Nirvana's favorite song was, I forgot. It was like this 8-minute, 9-minute song. And then Kurt was like, "Can you play that song when you open for us?" And I have a respect for them. They're kind of pop punk, but
Yeah. Pre-pop punk.
it's
The original.
some of it's kind of more
Original
um,
emo.
more emo-y, which is a little better than pop punk. But anyway, I digress.
Speaking of friend, I really liked your friend that came with on the camping trip too.
Oh, Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably he'll be
hilarious.
listening to this, and he might listen to this.
Yeah,
and-
so that was a first. Like I haven't made a friend in a long time. I mean, people come on the podcast. It's like, I guess, making friends, but it doesn't really count, you know?
Yeah, you guys are vibing. I actually brought him, and he took over. I couldn't even get a word in. I'm like, Robbie's he's
No, he
everyone's
was
favorite.
funny.
I'm just like, he was beloved by everybody, and I'm just sitting back here like, I ain't shit.
Yeah, I know. I was
don't
like,
get
I
my
like
turn.
that guy.
I didn't get my turn. I didn't get my chance to shine.
He was cool. Made a friend.
What was so cool about him? What did you like about
Oh,
him?
just a
most?
good energy.
You guys are
Yeah.
just laughing like nonstop.
He was
in that
funny.
Fire pit.
Yeah, we were just goofing around. I don't even remember.
That's
It was like
cool.
funny.
It's cool to make a connection like that, you know?
As a man, just meet a new friend. It's
Yeah,
hard
well,
to
just
do.
meet somebody you feel of good vibe, and you
Especially
just feel like, oh, I'm
post-COVID.
connecting. I really connect. I'm connecting to this person. That's cool.
I'm gonna link you guys up. You guys would be friends.
He
I have to find a
DM'd
new
me.
I have to find a new friend.
Oh yeah, I'd take him. That's,
It's like a love triangle, but it's like a friend triangle.
Yeah. But no, it was a weird like first social outing, but I'm glad we're coming out of the hole, you know?
Dude, at first it was absolutely terrifying. Like walking up, my first walk up that hill to where all those strangers were.
Mm-hmm.
They're all hanging around the pool and all talking. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think
you were
any-
there
I
even
don't-
before us.
Yeah, I was the first person. And I think I came by myself.
See, this is why you got to be extra nice. If you see a podcaster at a party, you better be polite because they're going to be airing it out on YouTube.
Maybe people got to start wearing pins, you know, about, you know, the handshake, the glove thing, and like, how do people want to be greeted? There could be
Yeah.
some kind of, you know,
think-
like within the gay community, there's the bandanas. It's like this guy does, you know,
Is it a thing?
this guy sucks, and this guy takes it in the butt, and this guy's the one on top. You know, it's like different color bandanas. You know about this?
No.
You don't know
Is that
about this?
real? Is that
Well,
real?
I think there was the general one was just a pink bandana out of their pocket just meant gay or something.
Is this like
that.
a cruising thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, let's
Yeah, I
go
was gonna
through
say-
it. I'm gonna go through it here, guys. I have the handkerchief code here.
Oh yeah.
Wait a second here. There-
By the way,
Oh,
I think aside from pins,
Okay,
and
if
things,
you have
like,
a black, if you have a
cruising.
black handkerchief, you're a heavy S&M on the top. If it's worn on your left, if it's worn on your right pocket, you're a heavy S&M bottom. Okay. I mean, there's
Interesting.
100 of these. So give me a color. I'll tell you what it means.
it's interesting because to me, left should be bottom and right should be top.
Just
you
give
know-
me a color. I'll tell you what it
No,
means.
let's just keep going. I want to hear it.
Gray, worn on the left, bondage top. Worn on the right, fit to be tied. Black with white checks, safe sex top, safe sex bottom.
What's the point? I mean, so the other ones don't imply safe sex?
Well, so you don't waste your time getting into someone and you're like, dude, you're a wait, you're a
So is there a raw
No,
dog?
you're
This
not a
has to
fist
be a
fucker?
cruising thing.
because fist fucker is red. And then
You know,
red-
like
That's because
the
it
weird thing
bleeds.
is that this is so similar to gang signs. Like, you know, has there been like an awkward situation where like there's like a a blood that sees somebody with like a red bandana
That
and
is
like
hilarious.
they meet up in a dark park. You know,
That's a great
probably.
scenario.
I feel like it would be, if they're a rival gang, it'd be even worse. But it would be more confusing if he thought it was like a friend, and then the guy with the red band. What would that mean, Doug?
That's a great sketch idea.
Yo,
Yeah.
there's one wait, I'm sorry. I was reading. I kind of missed your premise there. But orange on the left pocket is anything anytime. But worn
They're
on
just
the
down
right,
for
worn on the
anything.
right, worn on the right, nothing now. Nothing. I'm just here hanging out, all right?
Wait,
Nothing.
which color?
Orange.
It looks like orange.
Wouldn't nothing be just not wearing a bandana at all
Right,
in
exactly.
your pocket?
Exactly. What's the point of wearing it?
Oh, check this out. What do you
I
think,
think it's
yellow? What do you think
think-
yellow on the left pocket means?
They're scared.
No, Jack, do you have a guess?
I don't know.
Come on, think about it. Yellow.
Coward. You're a they're
Pee?
a-
Piss?
Yeah, you piss.
Oh my god.
What about on the right pocket?
No piss.
No.
Poo.
You get pissed on.
Oh wow.
Can I say
Okay.
something?
Yeah,
The
go
reason
ahead.
What a
Why right
match
should
made
be-
in heaven.
The reason it's confusing is because right is a dominant hand for most people. You know what I mean? I mean, it's generally the more dominant hand is right side, right, and also right has a. Well, it just kind of sounds, it just sounds more dominant. Right. Then left is, more of a minority, and I don't know. It seems like that would be, in general. I mean, that's people's more, less dominant hand or not
Okay.
dominant hand.
Well,
By the way-
Brent, I think you should go to the gay community and bring this up.
And set things straight.
Set things straight.
This is completely I'm reading this now and I'm looking at the color coded guide.
Yeah.
So there's so many. That's what you don't mention. There
I
are so
said-
many.
I
and
did
they're-
say that. I said there's like 100, and you said go
Dude,
through
there's-
them each.
Yeah, but like they're
Doug.
all so yellow, pale yellow, mustard, gold, yellow with white stripe, gold, and apricot. And I'm looking at the colors here, and they're all pretty much the same. What most people would call yellow, but the difference is between all of these subtle shades. Oh, and then there's leopard, and teddy bear shade.
What if you were colorblind and you got yourself into a pickle?
Yeah, well, these are
There's also
unrecognizable.
velvet. There's also
Okay,
black
so-
velvet. But check this out, Brent. What do you
Pisser
think?
and likes Asian bottoms are almost identical colors. And then
Which one?
likes Asian bottoms and pisser water sports.
Okay, so the guy goes up to him and he says, "Hey, man, I was wanted to do some Asian stuff." He's like, "No, man, I do. Are you blind? No, obviously I'm in a P, not."
Yeah. Then immediately.
I'm sorry, this
the
is
subtlety in
mustard
Oh,
the
yellow.
sorry, I
breaks
thought you
down.
were into Asian stuff.
And he's like, it's dark in here. I thought that was more of a gold yellow. I see now that it's like mustard. My bad.
And then
But no, here's my favorite real quick. Pale yellow on the right pocket. You see that, Jack?
wait,
I don't even know what this means.
I'm looking
maybe
for it
not.
now. I think we're on different guides.
Okay, this one
Um,
says, okay, this one is, that means you're drool crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. I wasn't even looking at the right pocket thing. There's so many other
Yeah.
okay. Likes Asian bottoms, likes Asian tops. This dude, there's no way people are using this. This must be like
This is
I
a
don't-
joke.
This is
like-
wild.
yeah, this is just, no one's
But-
using that.
Okay, Jack's premise though, this is a great premise, Doug.
Let's
I
hear
don't
the
think you
premise.
heard it.
Two
is
different
that-
bandanas and they get screwed up like a gang member, and then
It's a gang member, say a blood, who wears
he gets,
a red.
he gets lost at Elysian Park into the cruising area.
And yeah, and then there's a a gay red thing, and then there's some funny hijinks that happen because they both don't understand what the other one wants. They both think the other one wants what they want, but it's a different thing.
it's like a who's on first situation.
Yeah,
Something
so the
like
gay
that.
guy, the gang member is like,
There's a gay member and a gang member
I
and
know.
a gay member.
yeah, and he's like, "What's up, blood?" And then the guy with the red bandana, let me see, he's thinking, "Oh,
He's like
this guy
no,
wants to get fist fucked."
or no, he thinks yeah, or he's like he said, "What's up, blood?" And he's like the guy doing the bandana code, there's probably one related to blood play or something. He's like, "Oh no, though, that's not me."
He's like, oh no, I'm into fisting.
He's like,
Yeah.
no,
He's like,
when I fist, I'll make sure there's no blood.
Wait,
Actually,
what's the
There
blood?
is with maroon stripe is into blood. It
Okay,
says.
so he goes, oh, blood? No, that's maroon stripe. I do fisting. And then the gang member says, oh, you're a fighter. Okay. You know, he misinterprets
Yeah,
what he means by
okay, there we
fisting,
go.
you know, and he's like, oh yeah, oh you what do gang members say when they use their fist? They say, oh,
He's like, oh no, you don't have a gun. That's
Oh,
too
you
bad. Let me
scrap?
give you a gun. And he's like,
He's
a
like,
gunplay.
oh,
He's like,
are
no,
you
that's the
strapped?
gray.
no, he's
white
like, oh, you
stripe."
mean, he's like, oh, I'd love to see your penis or something like that, you know, he thinks his gun, when he says gun, he thinks he means his penis, you know, and he says, okay, I'll take a look at it, sure.
So anyway, let's sell this to SNL. I think they're gonna buy it. You know.
I think so.
Well, they're probably already ripping it off right
Well,
now.
here's how that scene should work. It could be like it's a '90s Jim Carrey movie, and he's undercover as a gang member, right? So he's got the
Okay, that's it.
so
Yeah,
it's like a double, he's doubly screwed
there
up.
we go.
you
I
know?
like this.
And he
This
ends up
works
getting-
too.
And I could just see Jim Carrey's face as he's getting fisted, going whoa. You know? Then he kind of likes it. He's like
Well, this reminds. There's all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff that some like this type of thing that would penetrate like the middle school consciousness, and somehow like I don't know how this information arrived at my middle school, but some of it would. And I remember there just being certain things that like, as a homophobic middle schooler, you weren't supposed to do. Like I remember just being told by my friend's older brothers, like, dude, don't get your right ear pierced because that means you're gay.
I
I'm
remember
like,
hearing that stuff.
yeah, like just like I'm like, and I would be like 9, just like, oh, I wasn't gonna get my ear pierced, but okay, I definitely won't get the right one done. Noted.
well, what's funny is,
I also don't know what gay is yet, so
well, also, you didn't know what gay was in a junior high? I knew what gay was early.
I knew.
But,
I just knew it was a thing you got called at first. That was just like somebody who just called me like,
I-
dude,
I
you're
think
gay, and I'd be like, okay, that sounds like you're saying it in a mean way, and I'm pretty sure you're not my friend.
well, when Aladdin, Aladdin, the genie has an earring in his right ear, and he's all
Okay.
talking about you ain't never had a friend like me. It's kind of like
He wants to
maybe
fuck
that-
Aladdin.
Maybe something was going on there. yeah.
Wow, I think you're onto something.
What about this? Okay, the Silver Lake / Echo Park. What's the code for what's the social code? Maybe it's like cuffed jeans. Like if it's cuffed once, you'll do a handshake. If it's rolled up twice.
Oh, I forgot this is all going back to that.
You can see
Right.
if it's rolled up twice, you're down with elbows. If you have where they just cut it off and it's like a high wall, that look, cut off pants, kind of like you go to Art Center or whatever. Or
How about like
Cal,
Livestrong
like you go
type
to
bracelets?
Cal Arts and you have it cut, the jeans are cut off. That means you don't want to shake any hands or
Well,
something.
I mean, why do you have to commit to fashion choices to, express your, social preference of things? Maybe buttons sounds like not a bad idea, or little ribbons maybe you can wear, or even
That's a
just-
fashion choice, Brent.
well, I mean, it's not as big of a fashion choice as, you can, as wearing a certain kind of pants, because maybe some people don't want to cuff their pants, or they.
What about like straight edge on your hands, permanent marker, but it's like a circle or a plus sign or something? That way, if they're looking to shake your hand, they see it. It's like, no.
Oh, how about big, long, fake, curly nails? That means no handshake.
Or what about this? What if you do a sign, like a gang sign, so you don't even have to put anything on your body. You just, when you see somebody, you start with what you say your symbol. So like, let's just say this means I want to bow or something like this means I want to bow, this means, or maybe this means, okay, I'll
Scout's
shake
honor.
hands.
Yeah, that is Scout's honor.
Shakes
Or is
hands.
that
I'll
this?
shake
Three.
hands.
Okay.
That right there is elbows. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
just
I'm-
1, 2,
this is-
3. 1.
Oh,
I'll shake-
one, yeah,
It's like
1, 2,
hey,
3, yeah.
Brent, hey Doug. Good to see you tonight. I'm out of here.
Okay. See you later.
Well,
Oh,
this
I
is
was-
this is a handshake.
For me, one means bow. And then you say, "Oh, for me, one meant
Oh.
shake." So
Oh, bow. So it's always the lowest one takes the precedent because you don't want.
I don't know. I'm just kidding,
know?
but I mean, we should establish a
Wait,
code.
how about this?
though.
Hey, Brent, good to see you, man. See you next time.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, wait. What should I do? Fingers.
Just show me the
You
symbol.
turn,
Oh, okay.
What's
Sorry.
up,
Sorry.
Brent?
Okay.
Hey,
Go.
Brent, how's it going?
or you turn and
thought
your
one was
bandana's in the
bow.
pocket.
Oh,
Just
I
told me
thought
one was
I-
bow.
I wasn't sure if we were still staying to that same code. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
one
ahead.
bow,
Go.
2 shake, 3
Okay. Elbow. Got it.
What's up, Brent?
Very nice.
That's an easy code, Jack. You got to admit that could work.
I'm completely fascinated by the bandana's like really.
It's like this. Hey, man. Here, do it to me, okay? Oh, hey,
what's
man,
up,
nice to
Brent?
meet. Hey, nice to meet you.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry, that's a visual.
What about
that
this?
was like a visual
Okay,
thing.
yeah, it's holding up one finger means a bow. Holding up 2 fingers is handshake is okay. Holding up 3 fingers, elbow. What about this? If you go like this,
It means you like fisting. It goes back.
It goes back.
And what if you hold up a fist? That means you want that full, like,
Oh, hug.
So
you want that full, like,
What about
kind of
hug?
like homeboy shake, where it's like all the different stuff, and you come
Right.
in and you
Homeboy
bring it
shake
in.
is-
and-
Homeboy shake is fist. Oh, there's also the fist bump and hug, so we have to do codes for that too.
All right, the fist bump.
I'm still caught up on
The
the
hug is just what you're just like-
bandanas. I'm just imagining like going into a park, like finding yourself in a cruising spot, and there's like hundreds of guys with different colored bandanas, and if you aren't privy to the scene, even then you'd be more confused. You'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
Dude,
why
what
are-
if
why
what
do
if
they all
there's a
have bandanas?
Yeah, okay, so there's a cruising spot, right? There's all these guys everywhere. There's all these different colors of bandanas. And there's a guy with a pair of blue blockers on that he bought. He wasn't really thinking about it. He just bought them. And he's looking for a bottom. Or he's looking for a cop. And he can't find any because he's got his damn blue blockers on. Meanwhile, he's surrounded by cops.
It's kind of interesting.
Which is the
'cause-
blue colored bandana.
Okay, got you. We're not talking the gay stuff anymore.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The cops are identifying themselves in the cruising scene.
No, that's a gay thing. You're dressed like a cop. I don't even know what that means, cop, but that's in there.
Oh, that's on the list.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know what? It doesn't.
Cop
it's kinda-
sucker. Oh, okay. Maybe that's just like, I don't know. Maybe that's
Stripper.
pretty niche. Like,
This-
if you're a cop that wants to hook up with guys,
It's just blue is very basic. Your navy blue is top or bottom. So
Oh, wow,
Some guy's
classic.
looking for a bottom, and he's got the blue blockers, and he can't find any.
What
I'm-
about pink?
light blue is wants head. I'm just gonna wear that around. Period, as a default.
What's
That's
pink?
more of an expression of my identity. Who
What's
doesn't?
pink?
Pink? Dude, that's the thing. There are so many pinks. So
Yeah, there's
once
there's
again,
10
this goes
pinks.
to like the shades are almost identical. Cuts, bleeds, dildo fucker, dildo fucky, tit torture, tit tortury. I'm mad this is going on YouTube and somebody's gonna have a clip of me saying all this stuff. Into navel worshippers. Has a navel fetish.
worshippers. What?
Yeah,
Oh, the
navel
belly button?
as in like belly button, but it could be confusing. What if you're
Into
Navy
sailors.
worship? Yeah, you like sailors.
Yeah, that
Spanker,
would totally make
spanky.
sense.
Suck my pits, armpit freak,
Wait, which one's armpit freaks?
magenta. But these are all like almost identical colors.
Well, that's the thing is
It's so
why
confusing.
does
Do you
this
see
exist?
apricot? Do you see apricot?
Also, like
What is it?
imagine going to a park, like hoping to find a navel worshiper. Like, what are the odds? Like, look, I'm just gonna go down there and see if there's somebody that wants
Hey,
to suck my
you know,
armpit.
You might as well.
What's the point of
Wait,
this?
the
Why not
navel.
just-
The navel is more of that's the belly button, right?
Why don't they just? What, people don't want to talk to each other? I mean, you could just have a scarf that or a handkerchief that means you're into doing stuff or whatever, And you can even say, left is bottom or whatever the heck it is. And then the guy just goes up to him and says, hey, so what are you into? And they
So
can
I'll
just
throw
say,
that right
oh, I'm
back
into
at
P or
you
whatever.
and say
Okay.
that. Why don't you say to people, hey, I don't want to bump elbows, and we're right back at the very beginning.
Right. That's true.
Isn't
I
that
guess.
easier?
That's true. You're right. That is a good
Just being
point.
like, hey man, I don't want to touch you. Period.
Well, maybe there should just be.
I have a
more-
white bandana. I'm just hanging.
That's true. That is true. Why don't we just do this then? First of all, how about everyone just assume nobody wants to touch right now? at
What
all?
about if
Yeah.
somebody had a roll of toilet paper hanging out of their butt? Does that mean they just want their butt wiped? Not a gay thing or anything. It's just
Or maybe they
Oh,
did
okay. I
wipe,
see what you're saying.
or maybe they did wipe and they had a little bit of a mishap, they accidentally the used toilet paper kind of got stuck in their pocket or something.
wow. We are talking about bandanas a lot on this episode, which is
I know. I
fun.
did not.
It's interesting stuff. you
Hey,
know?
what is a white handkerchief about?
I thought that was just chilling, or was I wrong?
No, chilling was
I have
just
to go. I'm not seeing it on this chart. White. Beat my meat, jacking off, or I'll do us
I'll
both.
do us both.
Yeah, and then
What?
milker. I don't know what milk. I think that's kind of maybe that's the same thing.
Comes in condoms.
Yeah,
Just-
cream.
that's
cream
like-
colored. Yeah.
That's something I don't even understand.
it's like they regular.
Like, are they
do-
using the condom, or
no,
are they just
it's
like?
only they come in it only. So it's basically they do raw dog and then just as they're about to ejaculate, he says, "Hold on, I got to get this condom on real quick," and they just do it in the condom only. They don't even put the condom on. I think they just shoot it into the condom. Yeah.
Brent, you could wear the white velvet one in your left pocket.
What's that?
That means you like to watch. There's one, the apricot on the left pocket. It says 2 tons of fun. And then in the right pocket, it says chubby chaser. So I'm thinking if it's in your left, if it's in your left pocket, that means you're overweight.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be evident without a handkerchief? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, but
Like, do you need a?
Well,
Oh,
no,
you're
here's what it's
chubby.
saying.
Okay, let me just
I-
check your. Oh, you are chubby. Okay.
No, this is what it is. The handkerchief, what that does is it shows that the person who is overweight is aware that they're overweight. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Uh-huh.
So, because someone who's overweight might not think that about themselves, and but this person's saying, "I am overweight. I know that, and I'm into that, and I want you to know that I know that I'm overweight, and I want to be pursued if you are a chubby chaser."
I'm reading about this now.
What do you got? Is this
So
a real thing that
it is
happened?
thought. Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, I haven't read the whole thing yet. It is thought that the wearing of bandanas by men originated in San Francisco after the gold rush, when, because of shortages of women, men dancing with each other in square dances developed a code wherein the men wearing blue bandana took the part of the male in the square dance, and the man wearing the red bandana took the part of the female.
Is this real?
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you're square dancing, the woman does, certain moves and the guy does certain moves.
That's
The more
interesting.
like masculine move is the man dipping the.
Hold on a second.
And
So-
then if you're wearing the red bandana, you're getting dipped.
Oh, so in San Francisco, the signs began appearing in 1971 at the Trading Post, a department store specializing in erotic merchandise. They began promoting handkerchiefs in the store, printing cards with their meaning. So I feel like this was a marketing stunt too. Like,
hold on a second. I got a question.
they're trying to get this to take
See,
off. I don't know if
Jack, this
people are
could
actually
be-
doing this.
This could be one of your marketing ideas.
Yeah. See,
The bandana's
just for like a random movie. It's like a kids movie. I'm like,
like
hour and a
Spider-Man,
half deep into the pitch, be like,
like Batman, like
anyway, the white
Spider-Man.
one means that you come in condoms, and that pretty much wraps it up. What do you guys think?
All right, look. Is the gold rush part of why San Francisco became, known as a gay city?
If they're
And-
going all the way back to that, that would be wild. If they're saying the shortage of the women, there's just a bunch of men, and it's like,
And that they were the men. There was so many men around that they decided that they started dancing together, and then maybe that led to other stuff.
Well, Brent, along that line, it does make sense that, San Francisco is known for having a big gay community. And if you're having this gold rush where there's a short of women, maybe a lot of homosexual men would kind
Go
of
there on
migrate,
purpose.
they would be like, well, that's a place where there's a lot of men, so there's a greater chance that other
Right.
homosexuals might be there. So it's just
Right.
naturally a place where
That's-
they would congregate.
You're a
But gold-
deeply closeted person living in like New England, and they're
You
like,
have to be. You get
out
like
in San Francisco, there's no women
ostracized.
out there.
right. Yeah.
Then you're like, I think I
Oh.
might mine some gold.
Right, exactly. Yeah. What if gold mining became a code? That was a code for, they're actually looking for men.
Oh, I'm
you know?
prospecting.
Yeah, prospecting.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just looking for some. I'm looking for gold. I'm ready to
Gold-
dig.
There's the expression gold diggers, people who go out with somebody for their money. But what about gold digger having another meaning, which they're going out for somebody for their manlyhood.
Mm-hmm.
They're digging for that.
I think we're doing some interesting work here that someone
Really-
needs to write an article about.
We're kind of digging. We're doing some
This
digging.
is a
right
movie
now.
too. Gay prospectors.
another
Or,
movie.
or
idea.
the origins of
It was
you know,
never about
San
the gold.
Francisco's San Francisco's gay community and how it started, and it has its roots in the gold rush. That's actually an interesting documentary, I think. If
It would be interesting if it's true. But there also is a movie where I like the idea of like prospectors going out there just to fuck men, and they're mining gold just for cover, but they don't even care about it.
Or they're not even doing the gold mining; they're just hanging out. And some of them are saying, "So when are you going to get out to the mines?" And he's like, "Oh, I will eventually. I'm kind of just sort of getting used to my surroundings here. I'm gonna get out to the mines in a little bit."
They're on the shore of a a stream, and they got their little pipe pin thing, and they're kind of bent over, and they're kind of. What do you guys think? I don't know. Well,
I like the idea of them having like a stockpile of gold in their closet somewhere that they haven't even like sold. They just kind of mine the gold, and they're really just out there.
yeah, the
to
gold
meet-
is just like if they
for
find
the
it, they're
sex.
like, okay, I guess I'll.
Oh, fucking gold, more gold. All right, whatever. Like time to go home for the square dance. I like this.
It's
Did you
hilarious.
guys ever do square dancing?
No.
I think I tried it once.
Oh, maybe in
elementary
gym
school.
class.
I did it in gym class in like junior high or something.
Wow,
Yeah.
you both did it in gym class. I did it in, I think, elementary school or something like that. We did it once or something.
Kind of into it.
There's definitely places you could do it. I think you could do it in Bakersfield. There's some spots.
There's got to be.
Yeah. The Crystal Palace. Have you ever been there?
I bet in Texas it's just square dancing everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they're doing it in San Francisco still.
Wait, have you square danced at the Crystal Palace in Bakersfield?
No, but I think they do it some nights. Have you been there? Buck Owens Crystal Palace?
No. It
Oh,
sounds familiar, but I don't. What is that? Is it a big?
It's
comedy
a-
bar?
it's a great venue. Buck Owens is a legendary country musician from Bakersfield. And he has this like really cool venue / restaurant. You go there, you get yourself a big chicken fried steak, have a good meal. There's a giant car mounted on the wall that he won from Elvis in a poker game, and you watch some bands play. And there's also dancing.
I got to
Look it up.
I
It's
gotta check it
amazing.
out. I gotta
Yeah,
go.
it's worth going.
Well, on that note, we've kind of gone an hour, so
Oh yeah, fair enough.
that really flew by. That was just fun.
It was great, man. That was great. It was
Talking about
Always fun talking.
bandanas, yeah,
Yeah.
It was great. We learned I think we learned some interesting things too.
100%.
Do you want to hang out for a little bit longer
Sure.
for our After Dark segment?
Yeah, I could do that.
Great.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jack. Do you have any? Can you tell our listeners where they can find you and the name of your podcasts and things like that?
Yeah, I'll plug my podcast. Yeah, but still, you can just
With,
look it up.
with Brandon Wardell, of course,
I'm Jack D.
uh,
Wagner on Twitter.
friend of the show.
And
Jackie
yep,
Wagner?
Brandon. Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm
And-
cutting you off during your plugs.
So we just had Kato Kalin on a Patreon episode. I'd highly recommend that. I'm gonna plug that.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Can we? Well, maybe we can ask you about.
could
that
ask a
in
couple-
in the After Dark.
you can, but if you really want to know, then you gotta sign up for Patreon.
Right.
That's my plug. It's
Uh,
a good episode too.
and any other plugs?
That's pretty much it. I don't have anything else.
All right. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks for
Jack.
having me on.
Yeah, and for all the listeners, thanks for listening. If you want to continue listening to this show, go to patreon.com/Poundcast, subscribe there, and you will get access to the After Dark episodes. And in this After Dark, we are going to go through some of the questions that people submitted on Discord, and we'll go through that and we'll see what happens.
All right.
And we're going to ask a little bit about Kato Caitlin.
And we're
Oh,
going
and
to get a little bit about Kato. That's right.
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right. Peace.
Thanks.
Doug and Brent.